Alright, so it's currently 20 past 11. New Year's in 40 minutes. Yeah, and like no place I'd rather be than to be at the gym to celebrate New Year's this year, because the fact is the gym's changed me, and like I'm so grateful for like beginning this journey. I'm currently moving this because like I said, the gym has really changed me, and from June to December these past 6 months has really changed me for the better, and I want to continue this journey. And yeah, so the plans for today is do deadlifts, see how well we go, as it's one of my favorite exercises. But we're gonna start off with a warm-up, take some pre-workout, and then lead our way up to it. So we have our Pride pre-workout from EHP Labs. Not gonna lie, it's not too bad. Like the flavor's alright, but my favorite by far is Rise. I just spilled some, but we're gonna take a few scoops and then get in the deadlifts. Ow. Okay, you didn't see that. Okay, let's do a little warm up actually, because my legs have been killing me for the past, 5 days? But they feel better. Oops. I came here earlier today actually and hit chest with my friend Sam. I'm trying to teach him how to do like proper form for bench, but it only comes naturally. Like so. Watch this. Okay, let's do this. Hopefully my storage doesn't run out because it's like looking low. I think I might just go for 8 reps just so I can warm up. So that's 4. Arse to grass. And deuce. Good. Yeah, what's the time? It's 35 past. Huh. Alright. Actually, do a bit more of a warm up. And then we'll go to 100. Short people always find a way. Okay, ready? Alright. 1, 2, 3. Look at you, boy. I can see the whole gym up here. Anyways, in the meantime, let's put this stuff back. Actually, that was pretty sick. Bam. Wow, that was so much. love that sound. Alright. Damn. I haven't used this in ages. That's why my calves are tiny. Oh no. Yeah, my bike's still there. Oh yeah. Another one. And the final one. Wait, can I do this with one hand? Of course I can. Look at that. And I think that's everything. I think I put everything back in place. Wow. Okay, cool. No, I didn't. Corner of my eye. Look at this. Oh my god, there's two. Okay, it's not like I care. But I do care. That was a struggle. Another one. Oh my god, wait. I'm not sure if you can see me, but... Fine. Bang. I think that's everything. Okay, no, it's not. Bro, I've cleaned like... Can we get a count on how much stuff I've cleaned? Look at that. I don't even know what this does. Don't you set the bar in this? I don't know. All I know is it belongs here. Okay, let's get back to the deadlift. My own belt gets here like mid-January, as well as my knee sleeves and wrist straps. So that's something to look forward to. But we'll keep checking the time. Alright, 15 minutes. To New Year's. Oh, I've gained weight over Christmas. Can't even hit the belt. Look at that. This is a position. Forgot how to breathe for a second, and this was way too tight. Oh well. Oh, that was satisfying. Goddamn high. Come on now. I need to listen to music, but I can't listen to music while I'm filming. Like on camera settings. So I need to like record on a different thing and play music. How many reps? I don't know. I'm thinking wrist straps. When it comes to 120, wrist straps is where it's at. Lightweight, baby! Five? Come on. 140. That almost went wrong. I'm hyped up. Let's see if we can do more. If not, that's alright. Ready? Ready? 40 on that beat. Almost vomited. I'm an absolute animal. I'm an absolute animal. Look at I'm almost on my feet. Come on. And there we go, we made it 2023. When I just lifted that, I replayed the video, and when I first lifted it, no idea what I said. I was speaking a whole different language. We are going for 150 though, and I am so gassy. I was hoping not to vomit. I can't stop burping. This is bad, this is bad. You know what is good? Getting a PR on the 1st of January, because that's what it is right now. We made it to 2023. And I'm telling you, this 150 is coming with me. No doubt in my mind. Bro, you can't even see them. Pretend like it doesn't even exist, because it doesn't. Come on! 150 kilo PR for the new year. You know what? That's great. It's a 10 kilo increase from my PR, which is actually pretty insane. Like I said, I'm doing more strength training for squats, bench, and deadlifts. So hopefully 160 is coming on its way. And by the way, I just realized 160 is 100 kilos above my weight, because I weigh about 63. So almost 100 kilos. But 150 deadlift at the weight of 63 kilos is crazy, which is great. So I just wanted to have a review of this year, or 2022, because it really was a time of change for me, because starting things off, started year 11 doing 6 ATAR. I did that for a month, for a term, then dropped down to like 5 ATAR. And then, like, I really wasn't enjoying it in term 2. Like, I loved it in term 1. Term 2, I'm like, it's starting to suck, you know? But, and then term 3 came along and I'm like, this is terrible. Like, I hate it. I don't understand how this is helping me for my future. And then that's where I had the realization. I'm not speaking against ATAR, because like it can help and give a lot of opportunities to those who are interested in it and who want to pursue their dream through it. And it's a great thing to do. But for me, I realized that wasn't my course of learning. Like, I really didn't understand the concept of reading books, getting a percentage in a test, and that percentage tells you who you are. I never understood that, and I don't think I ever will. But then in term 3, that's where I had a point of change. I'm like, what if I join Big Picture, which is a course through my school? And what it is you get to work on your own projects. So I had this thought, and I was like, I should just do it. I should just commit and do it. And that was the point in change. Mid-term 3, that was the point in change. I took that step because I could have just dealt with like struggling to do homework every day, stressing out over exams, and just hating school. I could have stayed like that. But instead, I wanted to make a point in change. So I made sure I did that. I joined Big Picture, And I got to say it was the best thing for me. Because this whole, ever since I started, this has been my foundation for my agency. Since, did I join September? September to December was starting up my agency, and I've started outreach. So leading on to this year, 2023, I believe that this is going to be my biggest year for my agency. This is really what tells you, this is the stage that says, are you going to commit and pursue and push yourself out there? Or are you going to stay in comfort and just stay here, right? This is the year I make change. This is the year I find opportunities and I take them. There's no point sitting back and just flowing in life. Because if you don't take that risk, if you don't take that step, if you never step forwards, you're never gonna go forwards. So that's what I believe. And with all my struggles I've been through, I've made it here. I've made it here. This year was a difficult year, but I made sure I made it the best for me and for my future. And I think this year, 2022, was the year of change. That was the year that made me for my future self. If this year didn't happen and the choices I didn't make in 2022 never happened, I don't think my future self, my successful future self would be there. I feel like if I continued down this track, I would have fell in a rabbit hole. Because I believe, there's someone riding past, I believe that I need to set myself up for success. I can either follow social norms or I can be someone different, and I can step out the margin. I really have big ideas for this world, and I know I'm taking it on all by myself, but I know what I can do. I can make networks with people, and I can do things, and I will. It's just a matter of time. But that brings me on what I was gonna say is, all my struggles I've been through, I've made it this far. It first started with my dad leaving me when I was 6 months old. I didn't really care about that, never knew him. It just made it difficult for my mother. So I guess that was quite difficult for her because not really good with finance and everything like that. I guess we're quite poor or average or whatever. But it still made it difficult for her as a single mother. But yeah. And then when I was about 2 years old, my mum started getting really sick. It wasn't terrible. She could still do things for me, take me to places, and I still had a decent childhood. But it was about when I was 7 years of age, she got really sick, and the doctors could never figure things out. And she was just always in bed. She struggled to get out of bed every morning. So this is the point in time I had to learn to be independent. Although it was small things, like getting myself up for school, getting myself ready for school, getting myself to school, getting myself back home, I had to do those things myself. My mum didn't drop me off because she couldn't do anything in the mornings. And everything like that. And when we moved to Perth, about when I was 10 years old, I've never seen her so happy. She was enjoying life. Because she thought it would have took her 7 years to get a rental property in Perth, but it only took her a few months. And when she heard she could get a house in Perth, she was just so amazed. And of course, as a 10-year-old, I'm moving to a new place. So I have to learn how to make new friends and start over again. But that was fine because I was kind of good at naturally making friends. But yeah, and then 2 months go by. She goes to the doctors and she got told she had the latest stages of cancer, and it was too late as it spread all throughout her body. She had bone cancer, liver cancer, and lung cancer. So it's spread all throughout her body. And like, it was too late to change. Like, there wasn't anything she could do. And the hardest thing was watching her slowly disappear. Cause she like ended up going to the hospital. So this is like, mind you, this is 2 months, 3 months after we finally got in Perth. And she was just in hospital all the time. So we made sure I saw her like a few times a week, and we went up there. And like I said, the hardest thing was watching her slowly disappear. Because I remember I gave her this Easter present. I'll put on screen right now. It was like this bunny rabbit, and I also gave her a card as well. And because all the medication she was on, like all the pain relief and everything, she was kind of out of it, but she was still appreciative of it at the time when I gave it to her. And she said, "Oh, thank you," and all that, but she was still sick. And then 2 weeks go by, and it was my nan there, and she asked my nan, "Oh, who gave me this?" Because she didn't notice it for 2 weeks. And then my nan said, "Oh, it was your son, Harry." And then that's when she started breaking down in tears because she knew she was disappearing. And that was the hardest thing for me, like looking back on now. But yeah. And then I don't know how longer after that, but then then we got a call that night from the hospital saying it was her last night. So we went over there, and yeah, when I went in there, she was breathing terribly, like crackling lungs, crackling breathing, and she was struggling to breathe. And yeah, of course she couldn't open her eyes. She was just in this state. And yeah, I fell asleep, and then when I woke up, the whole room was silent. Mind you, that whole night, I did not cry because I was so confused with my emotion. I didn't know how to feel. So I was just there standing like blank-faced, just handing out tissues to like my brothers, my sister-in-law, my auntie and all that, and my cousins. Because it was just such a weird emotion. At 10 years old, you don't feel... I felt confused that whole night. I felt so grey and dull. Right? And yeah, and then when I woke up, the room was silent, and it was my nan there. And she said, "Okay, we're leaving now. It's time to go." So I went to the toilet, and as I was leaving out the door to go to the car, I just turned around. I turned around and I went back to her room. And it was just her and I. It was just my mum and I. And I was just looking at her and I stood there for a moment, like looking at her lifeless body. Looking back at it, it was a bit weird, but in the moment I knew it was right for me to see her. So I went back there and stood there for like a few seconds just looking at her. And then I remembered this so clear. That whole night is what I remember the most. And I said this exactly. I said, "Mum, this is the last time I'm going to see you, and I'm going to miss you." And then I just started breaking down in tears. And that was the last time I talked to her. And I know she was gone like 10 minutes ago, or however long it was, but I really hoped that she was still in that room with me, that she was looking down at me. Because out of everyone in the family, I was the only one that came back. I was the only one that had a one-on-one with her. And that just shows so much strength and bravery as a 10-year-old. And those traits have carried with me. And then, yeah, it was terrible timing because that whole week at school, they were making Mother's Day presents, right? And then that weekend was Mother's Day, so she missed out on that. And then, of course, when I went back to school, all the kids knew. The teacher told my other friends at school, well, I don't know if they were friends, that, oh, Harry's mum passed away, everyone be nice. The thing is, these are all Perth kids, all city kids. And, like, no one came to me and no one asked me for anything, am I alright? But, because I was always that kid who wanted to fit in, I made this fake personality because I wanted to fit in with everyone. So I was this joyful, charming, happy kid at school and around people, but I really wasn't. The real me was stuck inside because I was just putting these brick walls around me. The real me, like, struggled. The real me only came out when it was just myself in my room, you know? And then, like, that, it just made it difficult for me, you know? And then, was it in June, so for a few weeks, a few weeks later was my birthday, my 11th. So she missed out on my 11th birthday. And then 2 weeks later was my brother's and her birthday as well. So she missed out on that as well, but it's just bad timing. And I don't know, I really tried my hardest during this time, but I was struggling. And this is also the time, like, my dad was trying to take me back, but I never wanted to live with my dad. I wanted to stay with my nan, right? But, yeah, that just caused more problems, because I think it was the week after she passed, he sent me a text and said, okay, you're coming with me. No, I'm not. That's not what I want, right? And, yeah. It's kind of crazy. And the thing is, multiple times I try to end it all. Like, I tried giving up. And crazy to think about it, at 10, 11 years of age, trying to commit suicide is crazy. And, like, there was times I put a knife to my chest. There was times I tried choking myself out. Tried strangling myself, but none of it worked, which I'm grateful for. And, I struggled. I struggled for a long time. That was in 2017. And, officially was the worst year of my life. But there's nothing I could do about it, except to push through. And, I feel like everything I've been through just made me stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's crazy to think about. The thing is, I could have given up, right? I could have given up. I could have headed the wrong direction in life and started doing drugs and everything like that. But you want to know why I didn't give up? It's because I'm Harry Dowsett. I'm Harry Dowsett. I never give up. I never will give up. Because that's who I am. That's who I was made to be. And the one thing my mother taught me was to never give up. never be weak, persevere, and to push through all my problems. And that's what will make me a strong man. And it will. And I feel like without a mother, I had to grow up fast. And I had to learn a lot of things. Yeah, I'm a kid at time because I struggle being a kid. But also the real me had to learn to grow up. So that's what I did. And yeah. I never gave up, I persevered. And the only way to move forwards, life only moves forwards. You can be down on the ground thinking, this is it, this is the end. I'm here to tell you that's not, because life only moves forwards. And if you're not a quitter, and if you like challenges and you want to push yourself through all those hard times, you will become stronger when you get through it. You're never the same person when you come out the storm. Once you enter that storm, your life changes. And I think like I said, all these things that I faced has just made me stronger and stronger and stronger. And there's no time to be slowed down or take a break or just follow social norms. Because that's one thing I disagree with. I will never follow social norms. I'll never want to be normal because I want to put myself out there. Because your life is only temporary. You have a max, like 80 years, 80, 90 years. This is the whole lifespan of life over billions and billions of years. And this is your lifespan right here. You can't even see it because it's the size of an atom. Your life does not matter unless you put something to it. If I leave this earth with something to be remembered on, instead of my life being here in history, it would be here in history, or here, or here. It depends how much of an impact you have on this world. Let's say, for example, music artists who's passed away. People who make music, they make this, right? With their art, it's their talent. They leave that for the world. And when they're gone, it's not like all their music has been deleted and disappeared. No, their music stays. It stays for everyone over years and years, generations, so on. And I want to have that impact on this world, no matter what it is. I'm only 16 years of age and I already have big plans. It's knowing what you're worth. And I know I'm worth a lot. So that wraps it up.